friend.
Yeah.
She's a good friend.
Hey guys, it's Megan and Devin. We're back and better than ever.
Guess who's back and better than ever?
You know it.
So everyone says, you guys are such friendship goals, don't they? Like, I swear on the daily, like all the time. People are like, you guys are so cute, friendship goals. I'm like, oh, stop, I know we're so cute. I love it too, okay? So we just want to make a video and like kind of give insight to how to make a friendship work. Megan, what is something that you have found to be a failure within a previous friendship?
That's actually really good. Not learning to love the person unconditionally. I know, like, we've said that a lot in a lot of our posts, but it's so true. Just to really accept all their flaws, understand that whatever they're going through or whatever they've been through, like, there's a reason that they were like made that way. That's the reason why, like, they grew up differently than you. Everybody grows up differently than everybody else, and so, like, that's probably one of the main reasons why friendships in the past have not worked, because, like, either from my end or from their end, like, I wasn't understanding of their background, and I wasn't really aware and made myself aware and made myself conscious of, like, how they were actually feeling and where everything was rooted from.
Yeah. Two different things. I would say one would just be communication. A lot of times if one of us would say something that would hurt the other one's feelings, we didn't talk about it. We just kind of blew it off and we're just mad about it on our own and acted like it never happened. You know, eventually it builds up. So there just wasn't any communication, and not just friendships, but relationships too in general. Like, communication is seriously the most vital key of a friendship. The other thing I would say, like, with my friendships, I don't know, for me and Megan, I feel like our relationship is really strong because we have always put each other first. Like, we're basically spouses. Like, anytime we've dated anyone, like, they automatically know before even getting in a relationship with us that Megan and Devin are a package deal, basically. Like they know that I come first, and they know that Megan comes first. Like, that's just like a hands down, like, comes with us. Like, if it was if we got married, it would be different because, like, it's God, your spouse, and then, you know, your family, and then everyone else.
I'd say another thing is that not only do we put each other first, but we also try our best to put God first in this relationship, because that's one of the main, like, reasons why we are, like, I guess what everybody's saying, friendship goals, because, I mean, again, that unconditional love comes from our love for Christ.
Yeah.
And the way we do that, like, we don't always encourage each other, but we try our best to make sure, even though, like, we're, like, in a distance relationship right now, like, we try to encourage each other as much as we can, and for us to not, like, you know, fall off the wagon, and to just, you know, like, we love each other enough to call each other out, and, like, you were talking about that earlier.
We were talking about this earlier on the drive home from church, just like what does make our relationship work and why we're stronger than others. And honestly, it's because we're not afraid to call each other out. Like, the Bible, you know, it says iron sharpens iron. Well, that's like how Megan and I function. If one of us is, like, you know, off the railroad tracks, we call each other out, and we're humble enough to step back and be like, okay, you know what? I see why you're saying this, and I understand, and I appreciate you valuing me enough to come to me about this and to call me out or to, you know, ask me about it. And we always come in a loving manner. We're never, like, pointing fingers like, well, you're doing this, so you shouldn't be doing this. It's more like a, hey, I love you, and I see this going on, and I don't want you to go through this, or I don't want you to suffer because of this, or whatever the reason is. I mean, and that's not saying that our feelings don't get hurt, because our feelings do get hurt. I mean, we're human, and that's just a part of it. As human beings, we don't like being called out. We don't like being told that we're wrong. We don't like being told that we're doing things the wrong way. Part of being a Christian is, like, being the opposite of everything that we know, like, in our heads. It's a spiritual battle, and it doesn't, like, nothing about being a Christian makes any sense to the human mind. So you have to be the opposite, and
Pretty much.
yeah. So honestly, we're like, I don't know, if we call each other out, we're like, okay.
Yeah. And I think it's super interesting, though, because I think you and I are both, like, super stubborn, though.
Yeah,
Which is,
I know.
like, that. It's like, it's nuts because, like, I don't know, we are super stubborn in the fact that we, of all people, and especially our personalities, since we are that way, we are very strong-willed of how that works out.
Yeah, by nature, Megan and I are definitely like, if you tell us something, we want to do the opposite, or we just want to say no. We call each other out, we sit on it, and we just reflect on it, and we pray about it, and we're like, okay, you know, I know she loves me, I know my best interest is in her mind, so I need to rewire my brain and see what am I doing wrong, or what do I need to do differently. And if there is miscommunication, like, there are times where, like, we'll call each other out, and, you know, it's okay to disagree. Like, that's what I think one thing that is, like, super, like, causes havoc in any relationship with people. They're like, if you don't agree with everything that I agree with,
like,
then,
whoa, are we breaking up friendship, relationship? Like, no,
you
can't do
it.
this.
Yeah. But the thing is like, there are a lot of things that Megan and I, like, don't agree on, you know? Like, if we call each other out on something that we think is, okay, you probably shouldn't be doing this, but they're like, well, it's okay to say, I disagree because here's why. And sometimes that person might end up changing their mind, be like, okay, you know what, actually, I don't disagree, I do agree with you, but you know, I think what you're saying is right, you know? But there are times where you're gonna agree to disagree, and that's okay. Like, you're not gonna agree on 100% of the things anyways. Like, that's part of being a Christian, is just saying, I love you anyway.
Yeah. And again, that's the whole point of unconditional love. And see, like, that's one thing I think that you and I have really, like, touched, like, just, you know, scratched the surface of understanding, you know, the kind of love that God has for us, because like, He so totally has blessed this relationship. And I think this kind of love that we have is definitely something that we need to be looking for in guys. Yeah. I'm not saying that, you know, her and I, we just got out of, like, both of us just got out of a relationship. Both of them ended for the best because, you know, we're both living for God and we're wanting to make sure that our hearts are in the right place. And right now, like, we just don't need a relationship. Like, our relationship is, you know, better for us, just us two. Yeah. So I think the idea of us just, you know, being single together and just learning to love each other more will help flourish our relationships with guys in the future, with a guy in the future.
Guys, like, seriously, it just, like, I don't know, it just, like, just look at, like, Megan's my best friend, but she just makes my heart so happy. Like, that's how it's supposed to be. Like, you just love someone so unconditionally, and you say, I love you anyways. I love you no matter what. It doesn't matter what Megan does. It does not matter. I love her anyways. One thing that people forget is that love is a choice. At the end of the day, love is a choice. It's not a feeling, because if you base love on a feeling, it's going to go away. It's not going to last. Her friendship is definitely a small glimpse, probably the closest glimpse I'll ever get to knowing what Christ's love really is. You just have to put effort. That's the thing, you have to put your effort in. If you don't put any effort in, you're not going to get anything out. You reap what you sow.
Yeah.
That's also biblical.
Also,
biblical.
But also, the thing about effort, though, like, with some relationships, though, like, if they're just toxic and you're still trying to put an effort into it, even though, like, it's really just not good, and there's some relationships, friendships, or guy and girl relationship that you do just need to walk away from. But if you really do love the person, and you know God brought you together for a reason, or if you just, like, sit on it and pray about it, like, the effort should come seamlessly. Like, the effort should come effortlessly.
Yeah. One thing I feel like we have found pretty recently is that it is really easy to lose yourself. Yes. When you surround yourself with the wrong people, or you become vulnerable and you make choices that you normally wouldn't make, you just have to really keep your guard up, and you have to stand firm in the faith and make good choices, because, I mean, there's going to be times you fall.
Yeah.
And when you do, like, the enemy is going to tell you that you can't get back up, that there's no coming back, that you are a hypocrite, that he'll just, like, feed you lies.
Yeah.
And you just have to stand up, dust yourself off, and get back on the path. That's all you can do. And you know what? Every single time, Christ is standing there with his arms wide open waiting for you. And that's a perfect representation. It doesn't matter how many times you walk off that road, he is always right on it with his arms open.
And honestly, like, that's how I feel towards you, and I'm sure that's how you feel towards me. Like, I really do feel like if like you hurt me in some kind of way, or if like if anything, like, I know that I'm still gonna be there for you because I do love you unconditionally, and like it just, and I know that you love me enough to know that you wouldn't do anything intentionally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you have to know that, like, you have to understand, like, people's hearts. Like, if Megan were to ever do anything that would hurt me, like, I would know her intention was never to actually hurt me. And you have to see people that way. When you live your life as a victim and you think everybody's out to hurt you or to get you, you're never gonna flourish in any relationship. And that's just the truth.
Yeah.
But you just have to unconditionally love each other no matter what.
So thank you guys for watching.
Thank you, Jesus, for giving me Megan. There we go. That's about it. Thank you, Megan, for loving me unconditionally.
Yeah, signing off.
F is for friends who do stuff together. U is for you and me.
We met through a mutual friend.
Cece Van.
Yes.
Girl.
Yes. So we love her.
We do love her. She's so great. She moved away from us, though.
Unfortunately. But it's like, I think it was 8th grade, not freshman year. I think it was 8th grade, actually.
Really?
Maybe. I don't know.
Drinks.
You want me to soda? Oh, I said that first. But I, like, back then, like, obviously, like, in high school / junior high, like, I never would have thought that,
Yeah.
that it would have turned into this. Like, I was not thinking long term on this, but then, like, I don't know, it was our sophomore year? No, freshman year. End of freshman year in college is when we kind of reconnected.
It was like the middle of freshman year.
Yeah.
It was like the middle of freshman year, and actually, okay, so we met through a mutual friend in either 8th grade or freshman year. And then sophomore year, she stayed the night at my house one night before the 4th of July because she had, like, you were in the parade.
Oh,
And
yeah.
So you stayed the night at my house.
Mhm.
And then we were kind of like, that was the first time, like, she had stayed the night with me, like, by herself, like, without Cece. And then, like, we kind of just stopped talking. Like, we liked each other. We just, she went to a different school, so we just didn't talk. And
Went
then,
to rival schools. So.
Yeah, rival schools.
We were like Romeo and Juliet, but girls. Anyway.
Irrelevant. No, I'm just kidding.
Never mind.
So, yeah, and then, like, we went off to college, and it happened to be, I met this girl and moved in with her in Lafayette, and she was friends with a guy that lived underneath us.
Mm-hmm.
So, we were like, oh my gosh, what's going on? Like,
coincidence.
and we started hanging out, like, every day, and then we finally moved in together.
Yeah.
Which, I don't know how, seriously, it just kind of happened.
Yeah.
And then we lived together for a year, and now...
Best choice of my life.
Yeah, same.
Yeah, best choice.
And, like, we live 3 hours apart, but we're still, like, inseparable. Like, my best friend, you think you're gonna take my best friend? I don't think so.
Like, we FaceTime each other all the time.
Literally.
Play pool, online pool almost every day.
Every night, before we go to bed, we play online pool.
And I still beat you.
Every time.
Not every time. There are some lucky shots that you make.
Goodness.
They're just super lucky.
It's like, you know what? I love you.
I love you.
No matter what you do.
Your eyes are so pretty.
You're so pretty, everything.
My big eyes.
Your highlight is glowing.
Oh, thanks. Check this contour. Anyway.
Boom. Boom. So funny.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, okay. So,
Going.
like, part of being a Christian is being told the opposite. Is that my phone? Freaking bloopers. Okay. Sorry. Freaking Janae.
Oh, poop.
I was on a roll.
You
and Janae
were.
totally threw off my train of thought.